Hi there, Andy Ron here with Montana Land Source, and this is your video summary of the Montana Land Report for June 22nd, 2022. I first off want to apologize. No land report went out last week. I had recorded early because I was on the way to the annual Ag Lenders Range School in Harrison, Montana, hosted by the Sitz Ranch, and recorded the report early and thought I had hit send and never checked, and it never went out, so I apologize. We missed a week for the land report, but we're back here this week. It was a great ag lender school. I would encourage anybody next year to look into that and consider that. We're going to work at getting realtor credits for that once again. Those were available in the past, kind of let that die down, but we're going to revive that. Just a great time to spend some time on a ranch. Sitz Ranch was a great job as host, so it's really neat to get to spend some time on a place like that and learn the ins and outs, learn range plants and range conditions. It's the most fun, I think, and entertaining and worthwhile money you can spend on continuing ed credits. In addition, if you don't need the credits, but for lenders, appraisers, basically real estate industry professionals, I think it's a great opportunity. So we'll post that on mtlandsource.com next year when it's determined where it's going to be held. It always rotates around the state with different ranches hosting that event. So quiet week in the market over the past week in Montana, 17 property updates. Of that, 6 are new listings, 4 price changes, and those are all reductions in price. 1 revised listing, 1 pending sale, and 5 sales. As far as new listing goes, there's a large listing listed by Rocky Mountain Ranch Realty up on the lower Musselshell. That's the biggest property this week hitting the market. Definitely seeing somewhat of a slowdown in terms of activity. Demand is still high, but this is reported over and over again that buyers are getting more and more picky, more and more careful, looking just for what they want. Not a lot of desperation or emotional buying, that kind of thing. Buyers know what they want and they're willing to be patient to find it. If you've been a listener to these videos and the Montana Land Report for a while, for the last 2 years, you know that we went through an incredibly hot market, kicking off with COVID in 2000. 2021 was the hottest market Montana has ever seen. And since then, though demand is high, the market has really been constrained by lack of supply. And all year we've bounced around 300 and some listings at any one time on the market. Today there are 316 listings on the market, and typically before the year 2000, the typical would be more like 600, even knocking on 700 listings. So we're just continuing to see this market constrained by supply. There is a steady flow of new properties entering the market, I would say, every week, but either those are picked off or just in general, as many properties are leaving the market as is coming on. So we're just going to see that continuation. And again, high demand, but the market's fairly well picked over, I would say. So some of these buyers are just in the wings waiting for the property that fits them best and not going to buy something that doesn't fit their needs perfectly. Also, there's multiple economic headwinds emerging, obviously inflation, interest rates. Even though a high percentage of properties are bought with cash in the Montana land market, interest rates still tend to have a cooling impact. With economic headwinds, people are just less likely to spend their money or sign contracts, that kind of thing, even though sometimes those headwinds overall help the Montana land market, because in times of uncertainty, people do gravitate towards tangible assets like land and whatnot. But it creates some hesitation or just more caution and care in signing contracts. So that's what we've been hearing over and over the last couple weeks, is that there still is demand, but it has cooled. In upcoming events, we got some Montana Association of Farm and Ranch Brokers meetings coming up. The next one next month is Jess Peterson, who's a great local Billings guy who's really involved in lobbying and land transaction or sort of land policy and some of the land swaps like in the Crazy Mountains, that kind of thing. So looking forward to having him. Again, you can attend that via Zoom if you're not here in Billings, Montana. But that and other events are available at mtlandsource.com. We maintain a calendar of events relative to the Montana land market. If you have events, please let us know, and I'm happy to put that on the calendar, as well as news and whatnot. Just send that to mtlandsource.com. Thanks, everyone. This has been The Report, and glad to be back, and we will see you next week.